Hey there, Geometry. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at lesson 10.5, tangents. So we'll be able to figure out the relationship between radii and tangents and use those relationships to solve problems. Also be able to look at central and circumscribed angles and use those relationships to solve problems there. First thing we're going to figure out is what is a tangent. And I'm going to go and just type this for ease of use here. A line or segment in the plane of a circle that intersects the circle in exactly one point and doesn't contain any interior points of the circle. Okay, I'm going to go and just fill in all of our definitions and we'll go back and draw. A point of tangency is where the line intersects a circle in one point. And then common tangents are a line or segment that is tangent to the two circles in the same plane. This is from radius to point of tangency. So let's go ahead and draw some pictures so we can see what that's going to look like. Again, try my best to draw some circles here. So a tangent is when you have a line or segment on the plane of a circle that intersects the circle in exactly one point. So here's my line. So we're going to label that T for tangent. The point of tangency is the exact point and when it intersects. And then common tangents are going to be a line or segment that is tangent to two circles in the same plane. So say we have two circles side by side, we can have this tangent. So a tangent really is just touching two circles at once. We can have a tangent here. I'm trying to draw it so it's not going inside the circle. And then we can also have a tangent in between the two circles, like that, okay? The next thing we have is this theorem, and it says the line is tangent to a circle if and only if it is perpendicular to a radius drawn to the point of tangency. So AB is tangent to the circle because it is perpendicular to the radius, okay? So we're going to try that here. It says AB is the radius of A. Determine whether BC is a tangent to A. So what we need to do is figure out if it is tangent, then we should see a perpendicular angle. And what better way to try that out is using something we need for right triangles. And here is where we're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus B squared has to equal C squared to see if it's tangent or not. The tricky thing here is we're given radius from A to B, but then A to C is not given us to completely, so we would just need to fill in from A to the edge of the circle is 9, which means my entire hypotenuse is 15. So let's see what 9 squared plus 12 squared, and see if that's equal to 15 squared. So 9 squared is 81, 12 squared is 144, 15 squared 225, and yes, because we're seeing a right triangle. Which means a 90-degree angle at angle B. Okay? Next up, if JL is a radius of L, find X. So we're already saying it's a radius of L. Find X. We're assuming that this could be a right triangle then. So 7 would be my hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So X squared plus 11 squared is equal to 7 plus 11. So that'd be 18 squared. So X squared plus 121 is equal to 324, and I ended up making this a 1, so we'll do that. Subtracting 121 from 324, I'm getting x squared is equal to 203. So then finding the square root, we're going to say about 14.25. Okay? Flipping it over on the back of your notes, JL is the radius of circle L. Find letter X. Again, want to make sure we know what X is, and X is showing it's the radius. So my hypotenuse will need to be X plus 10. So X squared is one leg, plus 20 squared is is equal to X plus 10 squared. So this is where it comes in handy of knowing our FOIL method. There are lots of different ways to try this. One way is just go ahead and write it out. So X squared plus 400. And then at the beginning of this chapter we did FOIL, so practicing multiplying two binomials. So that's X plus 10 times X plus 10. So first, outer, inner, last. That would mean I would get X squared plus 10X plus 10X plus 100. And then 10X and 10X makes 20X. So X squared plus 20X plus 100. And then to solve for X, we're just going to get all my like terms to the same side. The nice thing about this is when I start to move my X squared over to combine that with that like term, they're going to cancel out, which is what I want. So I get 400 is equal to 20X plus 100, and then subtract 100 from both sides. I'm going to get 300 is equal to 20X. So dividing by 20 here, X is going to give me 15. Okay? Next up, let's see if you can maybe try this one on your own. So if you haven't had a chance to pause the video, try this one here, and when you're ready to check it, click play. All right, similar setup to example 4. I have my radius here at corner or angle J, so that means 10 and 24 are my legs, and X plus 10 squared is the hypotenuse. 100 is 10 squared. 24 is 576, and then is equal to X plus 10 squared. Now, there are a few different ways to try this, but one method I would use is go ahead and combine any like terms here. So 100 plus 576 is 676, so that's equal to X plus 10 squared. And then one thing I did here to get rid of my square symbol is I did the square root on both sides. So the square root of 676 is 26. And then the square root of X plus 10 squared is just X plus 10. So this makes it a little bit easier to find what X is if I'm able to square root both sides. I'm undoing the square root symbol and the squaring. Now I'm subtracting 10, so X is 16. Okay. Last two things we're going to talk about is more tangent properties. So if two tangents from the same exterior point are tangent to a circle, then they are congruent. And I know that seems kind of redundant, but here are my two tangents, BA and BC, and they are tangent to a circle and coming from the same point, so that means AB is congruent to CB. And then the second thing we'll talk about here is if a polygon is circumscribed, if all the sides are tangents. So that just means within a polygon has a circle within it, okay? Sorry about the bell, but let's go ahead and get started on example 5. So CB and AB is a radius of circle D. Find X, and that just is meaning we know that these are going to be congruent. So 8X minus 19 is equal to 5X plus 23. Subtracting 5X from both sides, adding 19 to both sides, I'm going to get 3X equaling 42. Divide by 3, X is 14. Okay? Example 6, if we think about this as a shape, but maybe specifically a quadrilateral, and all quadrilaterals have 360 degrees, that could be maybe make it a little bit easier for us to find our answer. I already have 180 with those two 90s, so I'm going to add EFG is 19x minus 9, or 19x plus 9, and then plus angle D, which is 10x minus 3, is equal to 360. Combining like terms, 180 plus 9 minus 3 is 186, and 19x plus 10x is 29x, equaling 360. Subtracting 186 from both sides, I'm going to get 29x is equal to 174, so x is 6. So now I'm going to take that and plug it in to find letter D. So 10 times 6 minus 3, or 60 minus 3, so the measure of angle D is equal to 57 degrees. Okay? And then the last one, example 7, triangle JKL is circumscribed about circle Q. Find the perimeter of JKL. So one thing we know is that if a polygon is circumscribed around a circle, then the sides are tangent. So from KN, it's going to be the same thing as KM. JM is the same thing as JP, and LP is the same thing as LN. So we're just doing 2 sets of 7 plus 2 sets of 14 plus 2 sets of 11. Oops. And we should get 64 units. Okay. Hopefully this gives you some good ideas about what tangents are and how to figure out the missing pieces of them. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Have a great day.